What's up guys, Everything Apple Pro here, and in this video I wanted to talk about the iPhone 6s. Now I've already talked about leaks, rumors, features, I've covered that in my other videos. In this video I want to talk to you guys about actually getting the thing. So I want to talk to you guys about launch, price, availability, basically your best chances of getting one, how to go about getting one, and all around just some information about owning it and compatibility with, older cases, just some information that you may have missed about the iPhone 6s. Now of course I just want to mention that the iPhone 6s hasn't been announced yet. The purpose of this video is to get you accustomed to, how you're going to go about getting one, just some information about it. And this is all for the most part speculation. We have a very good idea of what the 6s is going to be like, when it's going to be out, prices and all that, based on analysts, rumors and leaks. So I'm going to give you guys the best idea of all of that using this video. I just want to let you guys know it's not 100% accurate. Things are subject to change. So okay, let's go ahead and get started. I know everybody's excited about the iPhone 6s. It's coming very, very soon. I mean, we're so close to it. We've got about a month between now and when it's going to be announced. So number one, I just wanted to mention that you guys should probably sell your old phones right now. If you guys are going to be selling your old phones to get an upgrade to the iPhone 6, do it now. Because as this chart shows you guys, the actual value of the iPhone 6 will drop 10% once the iPhone 6s is released. And this is based off of historic, returns on selling your phones right before the release and after. So once a new phone is released, of course, it makes sense that no one's going to really want to buy the old one when there's a newer one available, or if they do want to buy it, they won't be paying as much as right now. So if you are going to be selling your phone to buy the 6s, do it now before prices continue to drop. Just want to let you guys know a little heads up for that. Now two, of course, there will be that new rose gold color option, and the one that I've been showing you guys, it's not the official color. It'll give us a good idea of what it'll look like, but the real one will be more beautiful. And I can tell you that Apple is always good at surprising us. Even though we know what's coming, sometimes they'll make it even better than what we think. But this is pretty much what to expect. There's going to be a new color, but what you don't know is that this thing is going to sell out so fast you may not even see it. It's going to be a unicorn. Now when the iPhone 5s came out with a new gold color option, I remember I was in line. This thing literally was in such small quantities at every single Apple store, and everybody wanted one, so it just disappeared right away. Even online sales, they sold out within minutes. So your best bet on getting one of these is standing in line at the Apple store. Online, I gotta tell you, with all the glitches and the servers being down, it's very hard to get one online. And the rarest one to get will be the iPhone 6 Plus in the rose gold color option. It will truly be a unicorn, and if you do get one, I salute you, because it's going to be a very difficult feat. Now the Wall Street Journal is reporting that Apple has ordered 90 million units of the iPhone 6s from its suppliers. Now this is more than any other iPhone, ever created. Obviously Apple is preparing for the rise in demand for the 6s, but even though more are being built, that doesn't mean you'll be able to get one on launch day. There's always been a trouble with getting one on launch day, and the reason for that is, of course, everybody wants the latest and greatest, and scalpers. Those scalpers, I hate them so much that you stand in line, you're trying to get your phone, and these guys just go around walking around handing money to people to buy an iPhone for their own profit. Usually what they do is they sell it, ship it off to another country. Canada's very profitable for that. Russia, Ukraine, a lot of the countries over in Europe, they pay top dollar, sometimes even double the price for these phones. So of course it's going to be very difficult getting one on launch day, but if you do, watch out for scalpers and watch out for people that cut in line. Last year at the iPhone 6, I was standing in line. We actually got there pretty early. Some guy just nonchalantly walks up to the top of the line, just gets in. People are like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And there's a security guard, there's a cop right there. They come over, people are pointing him out. They're saying, this guy right here. Everybody's obviously mad, and the cop and security guard can't do anything. I mean, they talk to him and he just doesn't even care. And that was really interesting to me, is because they can't really do anything. They can't drag you out of that line, and he still got an iPhone ahead of all those hundreds of people behind him. So watch out for scalpers and people that will cut in line. Just want to let you guys know that ahead of time, because that's super annoying. And like I said, even though Apple's making a ton of these, it doesn't guarantee that you will get one on launch day, because the demand is going to be off the charts. Every single year, Apple ramps up the production of the new iPhone, and yet it still happens that you can never get one on launch day. It's so damn hard. Now, an analyst does predict that Apple's going to ship about 49 million iPhone 6s models in the September quarter. So that's kind of incredible. I mean, that's more than any other launch of the iPhone. So it's going to be really exciting to see how much Apple really does sell, but I just hope I can get my hands on one. Now, if you guys want to stand in line, I just want to let you guys know that the best option for it is not to do it in the capital city of your state. Find a smaller city and Apple store that's not really known. So that's going to give you the best option, especially if you get there early. Now, how early? Usually 12 hours. So if you want to stand in line, you're gonna have to do 16 to 12 hours. That's pretty much the prime spot for being able to get your hands on one. Of course, there's pre-ordering online, but I've had a very difficult time with that in the past. Yeah, you can do it, but by the time, the servers are up for everybody, it's been sold out in other areas. It's kind of ridiculous how these websites from Apple, Verizon, AT&T, they just go down. So many people are trying to pre-order at the same time. It's a gamble. You might get one, you might not, but if you get in line a little bit early, it's a guarantee that you'll get one. Of course, to a lot of people, it doesn't make sense. Why stand in line? But it really is awesome. That atmosphere in the line when you're waiting for a new Apple product, everybody's excited. Everybody's there for the same reason. It really is exciting. And if you guys want to stand in line with me, come say hello. I'm going to be at the Bridgeport Apple Store in Oregon. So that one is kind of on the down low, and I'm sharing this with you guys because if you want to come by, say hello. I'll be happy to say hi to you guys. Usually, again, get there between 12 to 16 hours ahead of time. Next, I just wanted to mention that your old case from your iPhone 6 will work. I've had a lot of people asking me this question, and the 0.2mm increase that we should see based on the Force Touch display will only be in the display region. So the actual unibody of the device will stay the same. All of your old cases should work no problem. It's 0.2 of a millimeter. I mean, that's barely even noticeable, so you should have no issue there. This iPhone 6s will likely be supported for the next 5 years. As unbelievable as it sounds, Apple has been so good to their customers. With the iPhone 4S, Apple has been supporting it from 2011 to 2016 until iOS 10 comes. That's 5 firmware versions. It blows my mind, and it's still pretty usable. I mean, Apple is so good with that. Which Android phone can you say without a shadow of a doubt that they've been supporting the same phone for up to 5 years? I know Google has been pretty good with that with their Nexus devices, but I don't know if it's 5 years exactly. Apple is just incredible how much they support their old devices. It surprises me every single year. I mean, the iPad 2 is still being supported on the latest iOS 9 version. And not only is it just being supported, they're building it specifically to improve performance on older devices. So with the iPhone 6s, you can expect a lifespan of between 4 to 5 years, and it will work perfectly between them. So if you like to hold on to your phones for a while, the iPhone 6s, usually the S models are supported longer, the 6s will be perfect for you. Now, the iPhone 6s is going to be running a custom version of iOS 9 that no other phone will be receiving. So iOS 9 and Force Touch will have a unique interface because, of course, it'll have that 3D interface where you could press harder and it'll activate new functions. Now, there's so many places where this could be useful. I mean, from just holding onto a word to get the definition to dropping pins in maps by adding a little bit of pressure to it. There's a lot of places where this could be useful, and Apple's going to be showing that to us very soon. I'm so excited. But pretty much, iOS 9 is going to have a custom version suited for the 6s and 6s Plus. Now, the price of the iPhone 6s should remain where it's at right now, $599 for the base model, and then $699 and up and up. So price should remain where it's at. The iPhone 6 will receive a price drop, and the 5s will pretty much be free. So I also wanted to mention that the base model of the 6s will be 32 gigabytes. It's been argued, back and forth, but analysts are all agreeing now that 32 gigabytes will be the base model. And that's great because with 4K video that the iPhone 6s will be capable of, it'll make sense. Those files will add up so fast, and paired with iOS 9's app thinning and smaller update sizes, it really will be great to have 32 gigabytes of base memory. Now, if you're waiting for Apple to restore your faith in Apple, the iPhone 6s will likely not do it. So many people are focused on specs, while Apple doesn't focus so much on specs, but focuses on optimization, stability, and smoothness of their iPhone. So if you're waiting out on Apple to release this powerhouse of an iPhone, 4 gigabytes of RAM, 8-core, quad-core, crazy processors, Apple's not going to do that. They're likely to go with very, evolutionary, but, enough specs just to make the phone a little bit better of an experience. We really don't have any major problems with the 6 even as it is right now, so Apple's going to keep the specs low. They're going to keep it very humble, but I got to tell you, it will outperform some of the best phones out there in terms of stability and performance in some areas as well. Apple's really been good with that. So what I'm trying to say is if you're waiting for Apple to restore your faith in their iPhone line, it's not going to happen with this iPhone 6s. It'll be great, but spec-wise, it won't blow you out the door. The iPhone 6s will be much more durable than the last version of the iPhone 6. It was actually really brittle. Now, this new 6s is going to have a new construction, the Aluminium 7000 series. It's a lot tougher than the old one used in the iPhone 6, so it won't be as soft, it won't bend as much. I know a lot of people didn't have issues with that, but I've come across that many times. I bought a lot of iPhones that have been slightly bent. It's definitely a problem. Whether or not not Apple wants to admit it, they are going to make the next 6S a lot stronger. Not only that, but the glass. The glass is said not to be Gorilla Glass 4, but it'll be made very, very similarly by the same company. It'll have the durability of Gorilla Glass 4 while having the scratch resistance of sapphire glass. Sapphire glass is not going to be used. It's just too expensive and it's very brittle when dropped. So the next iPhone 6S is going to be a lot tougher. It's going to have a really, really good battery. I know I've discussed this in my last videos, but the mAh capacity of it should go up by a little bit based on the previous S models that we've seen with Apple. All the batteries are a little bit bigger. The leaked logic board is also a little bit smaller, so it does support that theory. Now also the more efficient internals, such as the faster LTE chip that uses less battery, more efficient DDR4 RAM, the Apple A9 chip will be more efficient, smaller nanometer construction. This thing is really, really going to have good battery life. Plus, iOS 9 has that new low power mode, so you should have no complaints about battery life from now on. Now, this thing is also going to be a selfie king. As people continue to take more and more selfies, Apple has taken notice, and they're finally going to be increasing the megapixel size on that front camera to 5 megapixels. It's going to do a lot better in the dark. You'll be able to get more friends in it with a wide angle feature, and it'll have a lot more features on it. So Selfie King will really be the word to describe the front-facing camera on the 6S. So very recently, we've had a leak on the date when Apple could be announcing this new iPhone, and that's September 9th. Now that's a Wednesday. Apple wouldn't be doing it on a Monday because Monday is Labor Day, and I'm pretty sure they would not do that there. So most people agree that it will be September 9th, which is actually the same date that Apple did it last year for the iPhone 6. So it kind of makes sense, and I'm so excited to see Apple's event. Now I want to talk to you guys about getting the thing. So what are your best chances for actually getting it? Like I said, it's very tough to get the exact color choice in the exact gigabyte size that you wanted doing it online. Although it is possible, a lot of it has to do with luck, because me personally, I'd be there on time, midnight, to order it, and the websites aren't up. They're up for some people across the United States, but not for me, and I kept refreshing it. It's just a game of chance sometimes. Hopefully it'll be better this year, but your best chance of getting it is to go stand in line for the very next day. If you guys don't really care about getting it on time, then of course you don't need to be bothered about that. Now I just want to mention that Apple is no longer selling 2-year contracts for AT&T. So just want to make sure you guys are aware of that. If you're going to get it, Apple has this new payment plan for AT&T, but the 2-year contract no longer exists if you're getting it from the Apple Store. Also another choice, you guys can go wait in line at carrier stores. Usually that's a better idea. Less people do that. Most people just gather at Apple stores, but if you really want to get it, carrier stores are a really good choice for it as well, such as Verizon, AT&T, Sprint, T-Mobile. They'll all usually have the iPhone in stock as well. So when will it actually be out? Anywhere between September 18th to September 28th. So we have about a 10-day span in there. Apple could be finally releasing it. And it's being built as we're speaking right now. Apple has actually started production of it through their companies, especially their A9 chips from Samsung and TSMC. So guys, that's pretty much it. Just wanted to talk to you guys about some things not a lot of people are talking about, the iPhone 6S, some of those less known things, and basically how you guys can get it. So guys, thanks for watching this video. I wish you guys luck with the iPhone 6S launch. Hopefully you get the device you want. Now I'm going to keep you guys updated on everything between now and the final launch, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Have a great day guys. Enjoy your current iPhone 6. Peace.